Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Good Morning Shift podcast. I'm your host, Rohit Rohila, and today's quote is brought to you by Ralph Archbold, who said, "Charisma is the transfer of enthusiasm." Again, charisma is the transfer of enthusiasm. Now, first off, before we even get started, I love the word charisma. It's something that I have always resonated with because I have a certain level of excitement that is apparent to other people. Two examples I can give you right off the bat. I was in Chicago and I went to the Natural History Museum. And while I was there, I was looking at this thigh bone of a dinosaur. And I must have spent 10 minutes just staring at it in awe, right? The thigh bone itself was bigger than me. It was a Brachiosaurus thigh bone. And I'm just staring at it for a few minutes, more than a few minutes. And this lady comes up to me and says, "Why don't you get on the other side of the rope and I'll take your picture with it?" And I said, I would love that. However, I don't want to get kicked out. And she looked at me. She said, "That's okay. This is my museum. I'm the curator of this display. And just your enthusiasm alone is amazing. So please, you have my permission, go right ahead." And it was such a surreal moment as I put my arm around this thigh bone of this beautiful creature who would just, tower over me. And it was my enthusiasm. Again, another example is I was flying, and as I got on the plane, I was just looking right in the cockpit, and the pilot just happened to be there. And I just asked them a couple of quick questions. Specifically, the question I asked was, when you lower the landing gear, is it based off of your altitude or is it based off of your distance from the airport? And the pilot looked at me, said, you sound like you're very excited about flying. I said, "Yeah, absolutely. Huge passion of mine. I fly a flight sim at home. I love everything aeronautic." And they said, "Why don't you come hop into the pilot seat?" And sure enough, it was my enthusiasm, my charisma that got me there. So think about that. Charisma isn't magic. It's the ability to share your excitement so that others feel it too. Right? One of the places that we see this least often, but we should see it most often, is in the workplace. There's a difference of me telling you, "Everyone, we had a great quarter. Work hard, and I think next quarter we'll be able to outdo what we did this quarter." Right? There's a difference between that and, "Everyone, we did it. We had a record-setting quarter. And what's even more amazing is we built up such a great pipeline that if we just work just slightly more, we're going to destroy what we just did to have a second record-breaking quarter in a row." Right? There's a huge difference in that. You probably felt it in my voice just sitting there. Now, it's the ability to share your excitement so that others feel it too. They believe it. A speaker lights up the room not with perfect words, but with contagious passion. So this week, take the time to share something you're excited about with someone today. Let them feel your energy. You can hear it in this podcast episode alone. It went from me presenting just a simple quote to me getting excited, and you can tell that I'm feeling excited, and you're probably feeling excited too as a result. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening to another episode of the Good Morning Shift podcast. We'll see you tomorrow.